In this video, we'll be making the Learning Punch Needle with DMC kit, which is ideal for beginners. The kit includes printed punch needle aider, yarn, an embroidery hoop, a punch needle tool and threader. I'll also be using some embroidery scissors. Start by putting the fabric in an embroidery hoop. Using a hoop will keep the fabric taut so it holds the yarn as you use the punch needle. Undo the screw to separate the rings. Place your fabric over the smaller ring and pop the larger ring over the top. Tighten the screw and tension the fabric all the way round. Next, you need to thread the punch needle. Unravel your yarn. Take the threader and push it all the way through the tool from the point to the handle. Thread it with the yarn. As you remove the threader, it will draw the yarn through the punch needle. Use the threader again to draw the yarn through the eye of the punch needle tool. You're now ready to punch. We're going to start stitching this red section. Before we start, I want to mention a couple of important tips. Firstly, make sure your yarn is unwound and completely free of any tension. If you're leaning on it or it's wound in a tight ball, the stitches won't stay in the fabric, so make sure you have a good length unwound before you begin. Secondly, the tip of the punch needle has two sides. The sloped side is called the bevel, and it must face the direction you're stitching in. We'll start by working around the edge of the shape. To start punching, push the tool all the way into the fabric until the handle touches it. Carefully turn the hoop over while the punch needle is still pressed in all the way and pull through the small tail of yarn. You don't need to tie any knots. To make the stitch, gently pull the punch needle out of the fabric and move the tip 5 mm away, keeping the point very close to the surface of the fabric. Then push it through the fabric again right up to the handle. Repeat all the way round, turning the hoop as you stitch, making sure the bevel is always pointing in the direction you're stitching. Once you've outlined the shape, start filling the centre. Try to align the stitches like bricks in a wall. Once you've filled the shape, push the tool into the fabric up to the handle. Holding it there, flip over the hoop and cut the thread. On the back you'll now have lots of loops. Trim the start and finishing thread so that they're the same height as the loops. Next, work the bigger mushroom cap in the same way, but this time you'll need to leave the areas that are going to be white spots empty. Re-thread your punch needle with white and fill in the spaces that you left. You'll need to cut the thread for each spot. Then you can work the white sections on the stems, change your yarn to green and complete the stems in the same way. Now you've completed the mushrooms, your work will look like this. Next we're going to work this stem and leaves. Work a single line of stitches for the stem. Next, outline the leaves and fill them in as you did before. You've now completed your punch needle project. Thank you for choosing to learn punch needle with DMC.